So, that first order of business is going to be to approve meeting minutes. Chair,
Two sets, by the way.
yes, so I will cover that. The chair makes a motion to approve meeting minutes for September 24th, 2025. Is there a second? Okay, second is the motion. The chair will begin discussion. Draft minutes have been distributed electronically to everyone. Are there any members who have not reviewed minutes for September 24th? Further discussion? Motion on the table is to approve minutes for September 24th, 2025. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. Motion carries unanimously. Chair makes a motion now to approve. Sandy? Yes, the chair makes a motion to approve meeting minutes for. That's already done. So the chair, yes, the chair now makes a motion to approve meeting minutes for October 22nd, 2025. Do I have a second? Yes. Draft minutes have been distributed electronically. Are there members who have not reviewed those minutes? Okay, any discussion? So the chair would like to take the floor. I believe that there is a typo on the October 22nd minutes. Paul Economos has been spelled as Paul Arconomos. So, if the clerk, please make that correction. Shall we now? Any other corrections? Good. So the motion on the table is to approve the corrected minutes for October 22nd, 2025.
As amended.
As amended. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Stay.
No.
I would not hear that.
We have one abstention. If that motion does not pass because it does not have a quorum.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Jerry, as long as you're yes.
Okay, right now. So here we go. We have 4, we have a quorum, motion passes. What else? And open this schedule, 5:15. First order of business, unfinished business. Steinmore LLC.
I apologize if I stepped out for a minute, but what you may want to do if you have it, you recognize that Raleigh is a.
We did that.
Okay, you made that voting member. Okay, for me.
Yes, we did that very much. So Jason Kellogg is the former planning board chair and my coach for this evening. All right, so first order of unfinished business, Steinmore LLC, file number 2025. 19 SBL 47.3-1-4.11. 2-lot ST number 1. And so this is for a public hearing.
Which was scheduled for and noticed at 5:15. So, since you can't open it till 5:15, the site plan applications in regards to are not a public hearing. You could make a motion to modify the agenda and talk about them to give yourselves time. It's entirely up to you. But you can modify the agenda so that you and bring one of the site plan applications up for discussion now to get you to 5:15. It seems to you.
Yes, I think we're going to stick to the agenda. And instead of use the next 4 minutes to have a discussion with the board members that are present on any expectations you have of me being the new chair of the planning board.
Expect excellence.
No pressure.
But so far,
Thank you, member Kosar.
so far, remember organizations.
I would just say that Tracy did a good job of getting us, so we were approving applications much faster.
Mhm.
In fact, there were quite a few where we did them in one meeting. It was simple, which, you know, we've definitely improved, so I'd like us to continue moving along that path. If you can best Tracy, that would be great.
The feedback. Thank you.
I would like to echo,
Don't suggest.
I'd like to echo Dennis's comments regarding Tracy, and that we have gotten, I think, the board has gotten more efficient, more systematized, yet at the same time allowing applicants their due process, if you will. And I'd like that process to continue. So good luck. They're on a short leash.
We're here to support you.
Well, support and challenge. Your job is both.
You're already ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
You're asking me, so I would just also recommend to you that, Maggie didn't quite get out, I think, consistent information to all of the board members so that they have each other's contacts and approaches that are best used for contacting board members. So with the fact that I'm now stepping down and Rick is gonna step down, you're gonna have a few members, get yourselves a contact sheet.
Did I hear you say Rick is step? Oh, Rick.
Rick won his
Or
seat
did
on the
Dennis
town
like
board.
a scare?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to be
Or led to the empty chair?
right to the empty chair. But you want to get your contacts.
All right.
Raleigh had to call me for Debbie's today.
I sent it out a while ago.
We did?
So, yeah.
I don't think I got it either.
I'm sorry. I've been having, I've had, the accessing of the email a little bit better. I can get in with one try rather than 3 or 4. I don't know if they did anything, but it seems to be better. But I was having the devil's time to get
Yes,
in
no, I
for a
know you
while.
had some difficulties.
Yeah, but I'm up to date.
Okay, well, I'll resend out what I have, and I'll remove Tracy and add Greg, and then it will
I know there
likely
was-
change again.
I knew there's a question as to whether everyone wanted to share.
Correct, and that is noted on the,
And, I mean, I'm fine sharing my contact phone number and email, personal email with all of you. As long as it's,
everybody for town planning board business should be using the town of Hurley.org
it's okay,
for anything,
okay,
because it's part of the record.
or my phone number, all right? So as long as it's PG, that's fine.
Yes, and of course, everyone needs to be in compliance with New York's open meeting laws so that we're not discussing any business, so we're not those private communications. All right. Since we're 1 minute to go.
Oh, by the way, if you ever need it, I always put it. It's not for you, Tracy. But I have an extra one if you need it. There are agendas on the table if anybody. And if anybody plans to speak during the public hearing, if you would write your name on that book over there, your name, address, and the topic, so that we have it.
You know what, Greg, I think one other thing I can add if you want to take just a minute. I left trying to restructure the hours for the office, and my recommendation and or sort of edict was that the office be open to the public 1 to 5, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, closed Tuesday, Thursday, and that Tuesday and Thursday would be where Maggie could use her hours floating between those 2 days based on what the court schedule was, so that it wasn't a continual, having to constantly change and, and tell people I'm here, I'm not here. Basically, it's closed, and then it should be, a day that she can work, but not anticipate being interrupted by anybody who's coming in. When you looked at it, it basically comes out to you can do 4, 1 through 5, 1 to 5 hour days a week plus the meeting, and then that maxes out the number of hours. It's not-
And that I've been doing that, although there are conflicts that, like, Election Day and Veterans Day were both Tuesdays that I couldn't make up any hours. So if there's a week where that happens, I've been either coming in at 12 on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, or staying until 6, but not interacting with the public in order to get my full 17.75 hours each week, because the meeting is only 1 week a month. So that's how I've been managing and it's on my signature, it's on my voicemail, it's on correspondence that goes out for neighbor notifications, that it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 to 5 for the public.
Thank you.
Internally, I've been adjusting it as needed.
Okay, so that brings us to 5:15. And the chair makes a motion to open public hearing on application. We'll begin with 2025, pound 19-47.3-1-4.11, Skymore LLC -2 lot SD number 1. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Say aye. Aye.
Aye.
The motion passes unanimously. Public hearing is now open. I have the first speaker.
Thank you, Raleigh.
My name is Joy Allen.
So as part of speaking, if you can provide your address.
26 O'Keefe Lane.
Are you a resident?
Yes, yes.
Great. And you represent an organization.
I represent my own self and my own family,
Fantastic.
and probably my friend. But we'll see. All right.
Thank you for coming.
Did you get my email? Maggie?
I did.
Okay.
Let me bring that
Thank
up.
you. Now, I'm just gonna say the same thing, so you don't have to.
Oh, okay, in
necessarily-
case anybody wants
Okay,
to read
yeah.
it. But
All right, so, let's see, as a contiguous property owner and resident of 28 years of that very space, I have several concerns about this application. For one thing, if you go back to the site plan does not include the 2-acre parcel that's owned by Mrs. Moore. That's part of, it should be right there, and it isn't.
there's another pointer. that
And it
she
is
can put
called
something.
47.3-1-18-1. And it is not part
Here,
of that map.
here,
I think,
okay.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, because it doesn't show on the site plan map. Because your grid shows only those 2 lots. Kyle's lot and the Pullman lot, but it doesn't show the 2-acre piece that Cynthia owns.
it's right here.
That's it, okay.
Okay.
Skymore Lane is a private road. It is 1 lane wide and it is bordered on both sides by water and ravines. It is hazardous for several months a year and washes out at least twice annually. The increase of 8 or so vehicles from 2 two-family houses using that road daily is probable. Also, Stone Road at that point is 1 lane and dry. This is not a residential neighborhood. This is a rural neighborhood. The addition of 4 families would definitely impact severely the character of the neighborhood. I wish we could see this on a topographical map because this area is surrounded by water and steep ravines. It does not appear to have buildable sites. I question whether there are locations suitable for wells or septic systems, as it is mostly shale and bedrock. The neighborhood wells are shallow. I'm concerned that the demands of 4 families would negatively impact the water table significantly. That's what I have to say.
Can you expand upon the wells, the shallowness of the wells?
My well is 87 feet. They are shallow for this area. But that means they're also very susceptible to changes in the water table. And that area floods several times a year. And then we have droughts, and on a map, Stony Creek looks like this little tiny line. It is actually swamp and lake and there's a lot of water.
Can you point it? One to show us where your property is.
Oh,
Here,
okay.
this is,
All right.
this is a pointer.
Okay. Well, that-
First,
Press the button.
Oh,
And
really?
hold.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so I can't, I mean, okay. This is Skymore Lane, that blue thing, right?
No, this is Skyward Lane over here.
Okay, so that's Skymore Lane, that's my property. It's directly across Skymore Lane,
it's across, okay.
okay.
And which part, did you say floods twice a year?
This and this and this and this and this and this.
Whatever.
You know, I mean, am I lying, Wesley?
No, I wouldn't say that. But that's like all the area. That's not really realistic. I mean, like, I know this went really well, right? I'm there on a daily basis. So, the only place where it actually floods is like, it would be up here, which is where the other driveway, that the one you use, is like up here somewhere, right? Like, this is our driveway. You take the O'Keefe driveway that goes somewhere down here. Up here is an area that floods when,
That's Skymore Lane, so
no, this is actually Stone Road.
that's Stone Road,
Yeah.
okay. So from Stone Road, okay, so that's a different map than the one, okay.
But there's only one map, so this is this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yes, I live off of Stone, off of O'Keefe.
The chair would like to interject. So, if you could direct comments to the board and to the chair,
Oh, absolutely.
as opposed to having a conversation
Sorry,
with
sorry.
yourselves. I will also say that, having been the principal mapper for the natural resources inventory for the town, I do know that, Stony Creek, is in this area, part of the FEMA flood map. So, flooding in this area is not a surprise.
I have lived there 28 years.
Mhm.
I've had to walk off of Stone Road in my bare feet more than once. Where we have lost 2 cars because when it floods, they tell you don't drive, really don't drive. But Stone Road floods, as does O'Keefe Lane, as does the intersection of Stone Road and O'Keefe Lane. But, I mean, I've waited in it, it's not so fun.
And how long have you been a resident?
28 years, I've been at that house.
In that time, what types of mitigations have been done to the road to, deal with the flood?
My driveway, which is O'Keefe Lane, Charlie O'Keefe, who's lived there longer than I have. The O'Keefe Lane group, which is 3 houses, we've raised that road bed 3 feet on O'Keefe Lane. And put in obviously much bigger culverts. So O'Keefe Lane only floods now at Stone Road. And I asked the town highway superintendent about it. And I was informed that they would not put a culvert there because it would be on private property. But it's Stone Road that floods. And they paved it there and it's all washed out within the first 3 months. Because it floods right there. But it also, sometimes all of Stone Road floods past where it's paved.
I have a question. So if it floods and you deal with it, why would a new family not also be leaving?
We deal with it by not leaving the property until it comes down, which is 24 to 48 hours. But I have an accident. O'Keefe Lane doesn't flood as badly as Skymore. Skymore washes out. It's been consistently washing out a couple of times a year, not flooding where the gravel is gone and it's impassable. And then I have a walking path. It is not a driveway, but the people up the hill want to use it as a driveway when their road washes out. And it goes across the line to my septic field. And I don't want Amazon trucks and people going fast. It's not really a road, you know?
I think you have a problem with people.
Not as much as we used to. But they have dammed up what they wanted. But, We don't have it like we used to. It's not as bad. It used to be terrible.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it isn't as bad now. I think they got disgusted. I don't know. I think it's, okay.
The applicant like to, to the public comment.
Absolutely.
Public hearing.
So I guess I'm gonna respond to some of the comments that were made, just to maybe alleviate concerns if they're there. So there are certain things I agree with, which is true. So up there where O'Keefe Lane driveway intersects with Stone Road, so it's not on the map, it would be up here. That does flood. That is actually, the Stone Road is a town road, it's not owned by any private individual. I have been wondering why they didn't do something about that, but that's not up to me ultimately. Then there's the actual driveway that is used by mainly my tenants, because I own most of the properties up here, except two homes. So Mr. Giles and the Pullman family. And I am maintaining this driveway personally. I've made several investments already to improve it, and I've currently an almost $100,000 quote on my desk to be signed off for a new culvert in that road as well. So I'm very much aware of that it needs maintenance, that it needs to be good, because my livelihood depends on it. Because if my tenants cannot leave or enter the property, then guess what? They're not going to pay the rent, right? So it's pretty simple. So I'm taking very good care of that. I've taken that in consideration for this plan, and that is why the $100,000 proposal is on my desk in the first place, right? So I will make sure that infrastructure will be adapted to where needed. At no time have I ever made the suggestion that my tenants would use the O'Keefe driveway when there's flooding or something. That is, I'm not sure. I think the request has been that if we replace that culvert so that we are safe and good, if we could temporarily do that, which could be is a question, and it could be a yes or no. If it's a no, we'll figure out another way. But it was a request. So by no means is that like the egression route for in case there is flooding, because that actually almost never happens. And I understand if someone has been there for 28 years, I want to be very respectful. But I do have like several families living there, and believe me, like if the faucet leaks, I get a call. So they definitely got to call me if I can't get out of their property, right? So that hasn't happened since I owned it in the last 3 years. Not even one single day or one instance. So that's just something to also take into account.
Can I add something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so, and
Can
it
you
was
just state your name?
Yes,
oh yeah,
please.
I'm Lauren Portuguese, I'm the wife.
Thank you.
Oh, sure, first off. But yeah, just to prove how much we really care, the road that we own there, all of the investments for that have been done by us personally. Although there are other families that live on there, they have not put any capital towards this road at all. So we've just been on top of it. We've been making several investments. And that just shows we're working on the snow plowing. If it rains, and like you said, that we have another boat coming up to even improve it further. So even though other people are living there, they have not helped financially at all for this project. We have been forthcoming with our one person to make sure that it's going
Is
on.
there a maintenance agreement there?
There is a maintenance agreement on file for to Skymore Lane, which seems to be with the O'Keefe, which is a little strange. So that it's from 1980, so there might be some discrepancy for which driver that exactly is. Looks like it's here. But yeah, I would propose we renew a road maintenance agreement, which is something I could do.
Thank you for taking question.
But it's not your last time. I'm trying to catch up.
Absolutely.
You're wanting to build, 2-family homes, is that correct?
Correct.
How many? These will be rentals?
Actually, need a chair interject. Perhaps you could do a quick summary of the project so that everyone's on the same page.
Yeah, that would be helpful, thank you.
Overall.
Absolutely. Let's start at the beginning. I'm Wesley Portuguese. I'm a local real estate investor. I love building homes for people and families to have a good time and join our community here in Hurley. I've owned this particular property for about 3 years, like something a little more than 3 years now. there are several properties I currently have. So there's one here, there's one here, and there is one like here, just behind this.
And
Like
could
the-
you slide that down so we can, or open it up?
Here. Now we need to go back up, sorry.
That's okay. I just wanted to have it zoomed in a
Yeah.
little.
And it's also maybe indeed good to see that the land is quite far beyond this, so there's actually a lot of land. It's almost 80 acres in total. And I would like to, expand like the opportunity for other families and people to join us there in well-maintained and in good properties. So I've contracted Madam Beth, the engineers, to help me finding the best way to do so. So I love the land, I love the nature. A lot of it is wooded. This was the way how we could do it without causing that much impact to the actual land. So we're proposing to enter a lot line here that wasn't existing, where this then lot remains. There is some potential wetlands here. We're going to have a biologist flagging that to just make sure where it exactly is. Here we have subdivision number 2. Which is then adjacent to 2 other properties. Madam Beth has been on site. They have done a review. They also took some samples to check for feasibility for septic tanks, and they will do additional research as part of this project as well.
What does the orange represent?
That is height or depth. Like from I know the land, so I know this is deeper than the other part. So I think somehow
Lower?
Yeah, lower.
Okay, the orange is lower.
It's lower.
Low-lying area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you live in that area?
Yeah, I live, as the crow flies, about 5 minutes away. If I need to drive, I need to make a little bit of an hour out. So it's 15 minutes. I'm there almost on a daily basis on Prairie Fence.
With the amount of subdivision you're doing, you probably will have to have a road maintenance agreement, a modified one.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think the one that is there is.
Even though you
modified.
own the whole thing,
Yeah,
it still has to be a road maintenance agreement,
yeah.
just make sure you could sell
Well, there's a draft in my inbox right now. It's, I have a good real estate attorney.
Just a point of clarification, the orange seems to me more of steep slope.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you probably know better than me. Like, if you're happy in the map, yeah.
Okay,
That was probably the right phrase to use.
okay.
Yeah.
So this, Chair,
The chair recognizes Member Green.
so we're reviewing the subdivision, not actual proposed construction.
For this hearing, that is correct.
There's actually 4 applications for the same property. There's 2 different subdivisions and there's 2 different 2-family homes.
Do we have, so we're going to review the applications for the building as well?
it. No, but can I step in?
Yeah.
With a subdivision, you have to have the board of health approval to subdivide the lots. Am I correct by saying that?
Or the engineer has to say that the land is sufficient. You don't have to have formal board of health, but you need to have an engineer that signs off that says the septic can be.
Okay, well, I was under a different impression.
So the chair has a question for the board. Would the board like to visit the site? Or has the board visited the site?
We have not. And we would like to. We would. We would.
Okay, agreed.
The chair makes a motion that the members of the planning board make time to visit the site.
You don't have to make a motion for that. You can either decide if you want to do it. If you want to do it as a group, then you can do that. You just announce it. That does not necessarily mean that, it's open to public, but sometimes, and then sometimes you just do it randomly or people.
I think we should all
Usually
go
we
and see it.
schedule
I
a date.
think the owner should be there.
Well, you should have-
Yeah, what we've been doing is schedule a date with the owner right here so that we
Yeah,
can.
let's do it now. Schedule if you can.
Yes, please.
So everybody get their calendars out and you too, Leslie, and we want to do a date and an alternate in case it at this point in time of year, it's rain or snow. So do we want to?
Yes, and
Okay.
to that point, it would be much, much better to do it before snow.
Yes.
Yeah, actually, early next week would be perfect if it suits the
Well,
board.
we're getting close to Thanksgiving.
I know, yeah.
I personally have availability on Monday.
Before the next meeting, right?
Right, so that's what we're trying to look for a date for.
So it's between now and our next meeting, we can't, we're not weather people, so it's gonna be what it is, type of a thing. And so, but next week is a little harder with the holiday.
Yeah, of course, of course.
I think it would be probably best the week right after.
Right.
The first week of December.
Yeah, I actually do not believe that we need to go as a group. So we can,
It helps because
Well, if.
it's a big site and then we have a guide. So really once he doesn't have to, you don't want to wander around.
understand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's better to have,
It's
to
also
go as a,
hunting season, okay?
better to go as a group in this case, especially since it's such a large site.
And that way we can be there.
Yeah.
So the suggestion is to do the site visit the week following.
Yeah, December
The
first,
first
second,
through the
third.
Right, what works for you, Wesley?
I'm on a business trip most of the week, but, I could do Thursday the 4th in the afternoon.
Okay.
Give us a time.
What about 3 p.m. or 2? Let's do 2 p.m.
Yeah, it's just.
It's dark early.
Yeah.
Right.
And usually the board likes the sites to be flagged out and the potential location where the house would be, so that they can kind of get a sense. It's just sticks with, just so they can, when they're there, they can have a little bit of a visual. So it actually maybe gives you or somebody can help you if you're gonna be out of town to do, so that they can kind of see where those squares are and where the.
Yeah, if it's as simple as some stakes,
Right.
I think
Yeah.
I can probably just.
It's not hard, it's just
Yeah.
like wood stakes with orange flagging,
Yeah,
so they get a
okay.
sense.
What's the size of those two new subdivided parcels out there?
They're both a bit more than 4 acres for zoning requirements.
We should take a meeting point since it's kind of big.
Oh, we can just meet at the beginning, so, if we can scroll up a little bit.
At the entrance to Skymore where, Stone Road.
Where's the little
So
parking?
here is a large, home, it's one of the properties that I own, and in front of it, there's ample parking space, so we could all get there.
Does it have a 911 address that people can put in the GPS?
Yeah, it's 14 Skymore Lane.
Okay, so
Okay.
40 Skymore Lane. We get
14.
40,
40.
40. We
What's
get
that? I'm sorry.
40.
40?
40.
40 Skymore Lane.
That's right about where the pavement stops. No?
No, the pavement stops already on Stone
Goes
Road.
a little more in.
No, as of Stone Road, there's no pavement.
That's right.
Yeah.
Back where you are, there is no pavement.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Stone Road isn't paved at that point.
Yeah, it stops being Stone Road.
Well, there's pavement on Stone Road.
Yeah,
Well,
but
not-
then
not that
then it
far
gets to
out.
O'Keefe Lane, and shortly after O'Keefe Lane, it stops being
That's
paved,
right.
and then it turns to gravel for 400 or 500 feet, and then it turns to Skymore Lane, which is still gravel.
And if it's raining, we should bring the books.
Anyway, she can.
Yeah, I would bring
Yeah.
your boots in general, because it's still wooded right now, so.
And I'll
So-
put that out to the rest of
The chair, so I'm going to ask the clerk to send out details of the site visit to all members.
I'm sorry, what time did we say?
2 o'clock
On the fourth.
on the 4th. 40 Skymore Lane is where everybody.
Chair appreciates the applicant making the time. Are there any more people that would like to provide comment during this public hearing? Well, hearing no additional, people wanting to make comments, the chair makes a motion to close at the call of the chair, the public hearing on the application 2025 19 SBL 47.3-1-4.11 Skymore LLC 2 lot SD pound 1.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye. Motion passes,
Sorry. You may not want to make a motion to, are you looking to
Right.
close it or are you looking to leave it so that you can reopen it in the future if you choose to after your site visit?
so
Or-
I
I
made a
understand.
motion to close at the call of the chair.
So,
I don't think we should.
yeah, so so you don't really want a motion to close. You just want a motion, basically you're going to now close this section of the public hearing, but you're going to leave it open for the call of the chair. So you're not really, I mean, you're not.
Yeah,
ultimately-
Maggie, have all the contiguous neighbors been notified already?
Yes,
Okay,
for both public hearings, because they're actually different lists.
So you may want to just leave it open for the call of the chair, and then you can close it your next.
Once this is closed, you got like 62 days.
Right, so that's what I'm saying, you
To
don't want
make
to
a
close it.
decision.
Yeah,
If
you don't
you
wanna
can't
close
get
it.
the
You
proper
wanna just-
engineering or whatever.
adjourn.
That's all it is.
The motion dies.
Sorry, I wasn't like sure whether you were gonna.
No, very good. Very
So
good.
basically what you would do now
Better
is
off being
basically
open.
say,
Yeah.
I amend my motion, I just make the motion to adjourn it to the call of the chair and ask for a second on the
No
amendment.
one seconded that motion, so the motion dies.
I think Raleigh, some do.
Yeah.
no, he didn't.
Yeah, I have it written that
All
he
right.
did.
Okay, so withdraw it, and then just say I make the motion to adjourn the public hearing to the call of the chair.
There is a motion to adjourn the public hearing
And leave it open.
at the call of the chair. All those in favor? Do
Yeah,
I hear a second?
right.
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
That motion passes unanimously.
While you're ready to reopen the next one. So what you would do on this, you're taking motions and everybody can just vote as they are. But when you want to approve an application or deny an application, when you get to the end,
Roll call. All these tickets.
I know, it's good thing you're smart.
Okay. Next item of business is a hearing for the other lot subdivision. for
Subdivision number 2.
Subdivision number 2. The chair makes a motion to open public hearing on application 2025 Pound 20-SBL 47.3-1-18.4 Skymore LLC 2 lot SD number 2. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Aye. The motion passes unanimously. Public hearing is now open. Is there anyone wishing to comment on the next lot?
Same one.
Same comment.
It's all the same space.
Yes, it was.
I don't know.
I think it's basically the same thing. They can open and.
Would you like to make a comment?
Oh, no, I thought she was asking for.
Oh,
I just didn't know who you are. or what
I'm
you-
Bill Mahon. I am one of the owners that live next to the property. I also ran for town board a few years ago. Just got woodchuck in the woods.
Okay,
I think
so,
we should leave the same type of
Yes.
motion.
so with, site visit pending and wanting to, keep the, public hearing open, the chair makes a motion to adjourn the public hearing. With the call of the chair. All those in favor?
Second.
I'm sorry. Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. That closes the second public hearing. The next item of business Here is where we are talking about. Looks like the site plan for Skymore LLC for. Okay.
The special, right? Special use permitted site plan, yes.
Okay, so here's where I would like to open the discussion with the board on where are we with this portion of the planning process.
So I did send to everybody, the applicant, fulfilled your request last month to send some ideas of what the two-family properties would look like. I also have a color version of what it would look like, but Wesley, you want to talk a little bit about this design and what it is and
Yeah, absolutely. So, just for the board's clarity, this is just an impression of something unlike the style that I have in mind. So by all means, this is a drawing from a completely different property somewhere else. But just to give you an indication of how things would look like. This actual drawing is, this home is like almost twice as big as what I'm planning to build, so it will be smaller. So the proportions might be slightly differently, but the idea is of this particular style.
How many bedrooms in each unit?
That's it.
So two-bedroom.
Yeah.
You had a rough
This is,
idea of the square footage of each one or the whole building?
I would say like 1,000 to 1,200 per unit.
Per unit.
Yeah.
This is also, this is a lot already. Doesn't need a subdivision.
No, this is
No,
what
this
is
is
on the
part of-
subdivision.
this
the
is what's
same
proposed
property,
on the
yeah.
new lots, Carl.
But this is the
Okay.
site plan part of it.
All right, I was thinking something. All right.
And, this is the,
But I think this would be more part of the official assessment than mine.
yeah, well, that'll be official when we need type of siding, whatnot, but this at least gives the board an idea of.
Yeah,
How many bedrooms? Sorry. Per
two per unit.
super.
This is the actual home from the drawing.
So there would be three of these, three,
Two.
two of
Two,
these.
two.
Yeah.
So there would be four families.
Correct.
Two
That's a
bedrooms each.
two-family unit,
Correct.
I see. A duplex.
Yeah, two duplexes.
Each subdivision would support one of these.
Correct.
And are you planning, is this about the color that you know, I mean, this will get more detail with the visual assessment, but.
Yeah,
you wanna give
probably.
Some thoughts on,
I wanted to fit into the landscape that is already there. So there might be some slight diversions from what you see here, but I would choose some kind of muted colors that fit well within the current landscape.
It is an A4, right?
yes,
Yeah, say for,
There a flat piece in each of the properties?
yeah. The engineers did like a walk around as well. But I looked at, they were on site. This was not done from the maps. They were actually there and they walked through and everything.
I presume our site visit will be, I'm not sure it's clear. Clearer. Is there any other discussion or questions that the board has for the applicant?
Out of curiosity, is this an all-electric house versus, I assume it is, it's new construction?
All electric? Yeah. As in heating, electric? Likely not. But further decisions need to be made on that, but like, I would actually think either propane or, how's it called, geothermal, but that depends a little bit on further discussions with architects and builders.
I think the state of New York just delayed rollout of all new construction requiring all electric.
Yeah,
Yes, they did. No. All right. Thank you. All right, so we can move on to discussion of the other setting plan pot. However, I think that probably covered that first discussion. Agree with that?
The second structure is just like this one?
Yeah, it's almost identical.
So if you could have both of them kind of staked out on the two lots.
Absolutely.
Like you keep in the site plan about that?
Sure.
Sure. The other thing that I would very much like to take a look at is public comment had some concerns about the part of the road that goes over Stony Creek and the marshland that's there. So if we could walk that, that'd be good.
Absolutely, that's part of the driveway where I'm gonna put in over in, which Mr. over there actually gonna do it, so it's kind of a neighbor project here.
All right,
I'm happy to show you.
very good.
How much do you have to raise the road?
It wouldn't need to be raised at all.
It's covered, we take care of it.
It's never flooding, so it's only flooding somewhere else that has nothing to do with what we're talking about here today.
The couple times the road has flooded was during Sandy, and part of that was related to the culverts not being cleaned, and then that just being an absolutely ridiculous storm. I did the math on the flow rates of the existing culvert pipes, and we're actually coming with a 4-foot by 8-foot box culvert, which will be engineered and made by LHB Precast. This was something that, regardless whether the subdivision or not, it's probably going to be done. But either way, it's something that's got to be done. And if the subdivision happens, I believe it's going to be expanded to make the road bigger, better. Just kind of the suggestions that were made all around. But it's going to be now well done. Pretty easy is making the provisions to make the property
Just
last.
for the record, can you stand and state your name?
Bill Mahon, the neighbor just beyond the property, heading down the road. What else you want?
And the organization you work for.
Oh, I work for Bill of All Trades, excavation, tree removal, clearing, you name it.
All right.
Exterior.
Thank you. Thank you for your input.
Deb, did you want something off of?
No, that's fine. I just wanted to refresh for the.
Okay,
And you think there'd be no problem getting a Board of Health approval?
Engineers seem to have no, like, this seems to be a pretty straightforward phase section, so,
Seems to be.
yeah. So I hope that's gonna be true, ultimately.
Well, before we give a subdivision, you need that.
Yeah,
Um, right, so, in what I sent to the board, Wesley, the Menbach and Eggers review, is it part of what you submitted or part of what Paul submitted? Do you remember?
I submitted, you mean the letter that I
Yeah.
submitted together with the plan? I submitted that to you.
Okay. He submitted a letter from Menbach and Eggers that explains, what they've done so far and what their, how
It's actually okay. So
Okay, well,
that-
the board does have it, and I'll make sure you have a link to it before you do the site visit.
Fantastic. All right, thank you very much. And with that, we're going to move on to the next item of business. Which is application 2025, number 23 SBL 55.4 10 33 I really apologize. Jinchel?
Shinkle.
Jingle. SUP-SP new application. So we're done for this evening, so you're welcome to stay.
Thank you.
Is the applicant for this year?
Yes, George Schenkel, 259 Thomas Street, Early, been
resident of Hurley's since the late eighties, early nineties.
Oh, thanks for doing
This is Sadie. And, I represent myself.
Thank you for coming. Can you take a few minutes and just give a brief overview of your project?
Sure, this is an irregular lot that is at the end of Old 209, where 209 meets, Old 209 meets New 209. It's actually the old Bessel Road before the new 209 was made. People that were traveling the old road would turn up right, you see the driveway there, and continue right up Bessel Road, which is on the other side.
Right across from that is the old John Joe thing.
Yes,
That's, yes, near that, at this end over here.
Yes.
And this has been a vacant lot for many years. The previous owner, from the people that I bought it from, was a gentleman that used to park his 18-wheeler there and plug it in and keep it warm. He then sold it to the people that I bought it from, and it promptly became a dump site for refrigerators, sofas, old RVs, boats. And I cleaned all that up, got rid of all of that. And basically it is a 0.171 acre lot, which is about 17,500 square feet. And I would like to build a 500 square foot building, used for storage. I'll probably put my boat in there in the winter time. So it's less of a hassle to winterize. And just make it look nice, and just like my other properties, I own 3 properties. In Rolling Meadows and on Main Street. Early.
So the first question I have is, don't have a good sense of the trees and forest that is in and around that property, and how would the shed fit into that setting?
So it is 90% cleared.
Okay,
It was when I got it, maybe not 90, but close. Up on the side, left and right side, there's some really old, I shouldn't say old, but kind of cracked trees, nothing good of value.
Right.
Really on that lot is, other than maybe a cherry tree and some dead ones, there really is no woods. To the left and right of that are trees on other people's properties. They're both vacant properties. One is owned by the state of New York, I believe. Somebody else. Never seen anybody there. I become friends with the gentleman that lives across the street and chatted with him. He's the one that told me about all the things that used to be done there. So, yeah, I mean, that is a good idea of what the building's gonna look like. Will not have the side garage door, just have a front one. It is 19 feet wide by 28 feet deep. So again, it only takes 500 square feet of the 17,500 square foot lot.
And the utilities in
There's a utility pole off the property. There is no water. I eventually will hook up electric to the building.
And can you go back to the site plan?
There's the code here, if you're not putting an accessory structure on your residential lot requires.
I did apply for all the variances. I went to those meetings. All of that has been approved, all the variances that are needed for the left, right, front, back. So they told me I needed to go do all that first, and it's approved on their end.
so that's a ZBA affirmative decision on
That's
this.
correct.
which is in the record, by the way.
explain the access to the
So
site?
you need a special use permit because you
Because she doesn't live there.
don't live there.
No, I think I needed it because I wanted to, because from it, to your question, Deborah, if you look at the driveway there, Maggie, maybe you can center it more. So this is this is old 209, and this is the driveway coming in
And what's that space? Is that like public space or the,
here.
yeah? Is it like an easement off? over it?
It doesn't look that big, by the way, when you're really there. But it's the ribbon, the apron that you would drive over before you get to the property. Every house on this road has that similar thing. This is considered road frontage. This is considered road frontage. And this is considered road frontage. And I got variances on all of those to be able to build there. The Gill Farm stand is right here.
Yeah.
Carl, to your point.
Yeah.
This is this is what I believe is owned by the state. It's just vacant. Nothing there. This is owned by someone that I never see, and I believe there's something going on up there at one point that's been stalled out for me. But maybe you know better enough.
Okay,
Everything is marked out. The building is marked out. Stakes are in the ground. I have pictures of all that. My understanding is that it needs to go to public comment,
Public hearing.
public hearing after this. And as soon as I get approval, I've already been in contact with Precision Concrete. They're probably a nice punch slab. And already in touch with my electrician, my excavator, everything lined up. Already bought the building with a stipulation that it is.
What did you say you were gonna store in it?
Either my boat,
Oh,
maybe a trailer, maybe some of my tools.
it's a big door. I thought maybe 10 wheelers or something.
No, it's really a small building. It's 19 by 28. I have a truck outside, it's the utility truck, that would barely fit.
Yeah, all right. It just looks bigger than.
Yeah, well, that picture that you saw there is more of an idea of what it will look like, but not size. That building is much larger.
So the site plan requirements require septic and well approval, but Jerry's not planning on it being occupied, so the board needs to decide how they want to handle that, since it's not going to be occupied, but once the building's there and it's approved, if he sells it. So whether you have shipping happen, whatever, but that's one of the requirements that Jerry can have an actual plan for. He doesn't plan on putting in a septic or a well because it's not going to be occupied.
There's no need for water. I'm sorry to put water in that. I live close by. Stewart's is close by if I ever really that bad. But I live, Thomas Street is 5 miles. Yeah.
okay. Discussion for the board.
At the end of the day, right now, it looks so much better than it did when I first got it. Simply because the garbage is all.
Thank you. And at this point, the board is going to discuss amongst themselves, and see if we can decide what our next steps of action will be. So, two things come to mind for me is one, we have the opportunity to make a secret determination based on the fact that it's just an accessory building. So we can do that tonight. However, we do have an interesting question in terms of the long-term use of the property. Now, do we, is it a concern that the property will initially be an accessory building as proposed? is it an issue over time if that gets converted into residence?
It changes the use of it. It's gonna have to see.
You would have to go through the whole variance
Yeah.
again.
you'd have to
Yeah.
agree
It's an
together.
S4, right? Or is it, what is it
Yeah.
called?
R1.
So we very much appreciate your input,
Oh, sorry.
but for this part, we're bringing.
Sorry.
It is a residential area, correct?
Yes, Carl.
Yeah, but-
And there's no water. There's no water being requested.
Correct.
And so if water was being sought down the road, it would have to come back, right?
Right, so really my question is there any consideration that the planning board needs to do today with regards to perhaps at a future time, this gets converted into a residence?
Or an
I don't think
occupied
that's an issue, but
use.
we recently approved a similar building. I don't know if it was out on Spillway. Remember the guy was building the garage for his motorcycles and all that?
Oh, yeah.
And there was, I don't know, there was some loophole or,
Well,
you know,
you could also
clause
make
that he was allowed to do
conditions.
because it's not a contiguous or an adjacent property. And he's building something on it. It was the same situation. I forget exactly.
Shafford, yes.
Yes, I forget exactly how that one played out or.
The chair recognizes Jason Kellogg.
So not all towns have this requirement. This is an odd requirement in the town of Hurley. So in most towns, he would be allowed to just construct the building and it wouldn't come before you. But here you have a provision where if there's not a residential structure on a lot, it triggers them coming before you for a special permit because it's an accessory structure.
So is that is that the application as a special use permit?
Yeah.
Okay,
So
And
it's
it's
special
like-
use permit because there's no residential, structure on that property. So, and it's not a full commercial application, but it's a sort of application. He could theoretically buy just down the road, or somebody could down the road come back and make an application to Paul to convert the structure unless you put a restriction on it. I don't know why you necessarily would put a restriction. I can't imagine that, although 20 years ago, who would have thought that people had tiny houses? So, what you probably want to just look at, which would be no different, is that your thought process in reviewing something that's of a commercial, non-residential nature might be more extensive than what you would do. If somebody was going to put a house right here, would you be looking at this structure any differently? Well, probably not. I mean, where it's commercial, you might be looking at whether you want screening and things like that. So I don't know whether the board really has any objection to somebody converting it to a residential structure.
Well, if you need screening, you don't need screening for a house.
No, I understand. That's what I'm saying. A commercial structure is actually more, you generally
Well, a
are more
commercial structure would be allowed in a residential area.
well, it's an accessory. So I just put the accessory structure.
What is the environment around? I'm looking at a Google map and it doesn't show any houses. This is the old, no, it is. This is the old Gilston. And it just, there's no houses around it. There's no-
There's I can speak, there's across the street of Old 209 down as if you were going to Early. That's the closest house, it's on the left-hand side.
I see.
That's the gentleman that.
So he could go and build a residential structure there without ever coming here. Is what I'm sort of, he would just,
But he lives in Hurley.
we just have to figure out what the statute or code was, like with Shafford, where we allowed that accessory structure. If this is the same, so I don't know if we need Paul to weigh in or.
no, it's coming before you as a special use permit because you would be reviewing whether you're allowing an accessory structure on a.
Did you talk?
Okay.
Paul?
We have to look.
Yeah, it's been,
What did he say?
I believe there needs to be a public hearing
Well-
for special use anyway.
Correct. So it's the site plan requirements that require the septic and water, not the special use requirements.
Yeah.
But because it requires both, that's where whether you put a condition
I
that
think we
it
have to look at-
converts, or he shows by the soils, it can at least get it, whatever you,
We
however.
have a whole code section for special use permits, so we have to actually look at which one this falls under. There's a special use permit for an ADU, which is not. A special use permit for campgrounds or whatever. We just gotta figure out which special use permit this is applying for.
It doesn't have an individual one, it just has the general one, and then site,
General what one?
the
You mean the
1 through
application?
4.
Right, but we have to figure out which one it fits in under. that we
Under
can approve it.
section D, it doesn't have its individual, so you're right, some of the uses have individual additional requirements to the general ones. This does not have additional general requirements.
We'll have to look that up and figure out.
And I guess I see a question since she's very smart. A special use permit designates the use and therefore gets a CO that says the use is a vacant, no. If anything goes to change that, I have to come back for.
Of course.
So what I would say, yes, theoretically, however, in this area, a residential is allowed by right.
Oh, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but that was when I want to live in that beautiful building you showed us.
But if he
Except maybe
occupies
shady.
it, that's,
Got it.
Well, I think
Okay.
With
it's
that have to
improvement
come
in terms of the corner so far.
So
I
residential, you
agree
have to
with
need building
your
code.
point, if I
You would
could
have to go
respond
back
to
to
this
Paul,
question.
not to the
it's
planning.
occupied commercially, like if somebody wanted.
This
to
is
do
not a
workshop.
commercial, this is not a commercial, this is.
Planning board, all,
Almost.
all economists, gave me nothing but positive indications when I spoke to him about plan and the use and the building. He's the one that said go to zoning first with their approval by the planning board. He doesn't see a reason why it would get approved with the caveat of, but you have to go through the process.
A public hearing is required for this.
For special.
Well, let's schedule it for next month and then this is.
Would you like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to have a public hearing next month.
I'll second.
All right, what time? So at the December 17th meeting, what time?
I have no idea.
5:15 is the earliest.
Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion passes unanimously. There will be a public hearing at the next board meeting. This to allow the public to weigh in on the special use permit or application under consideration.
Which, by the way, we also went through on the zoning zone. So probably be the same one person. I think. Just had a couple of things.
You want to place.
Yes. So then next item that I'd like to put for discussion is the opportunity that we had tonight to classify under seeker this particular project. So I have the type 2 actions from the list and the
It's the accessory less than 4,000 square feet.
yes, so that's the 2.10 construction, expansion, or placement of a minor accessory resident.
None.
Which ones? The town children?
It's less than 4,000. It says the construction less than 4,000 square feet. I thought it was 6.
Oh, 7, 2.7. Construction or expansion of a primary or accessory non-residential structure or facility involving less than 4,000 square feet of gross floor area and not involving a change in zoning or a use variance and consistent with local land use controls, but not radio communication or microwave transmission facilities.
You're not doing that, are you?
But the applicant has indicated he does not do radio communication or microwave transmission.
I haven't used the microwave.
We need a motion to classify as that.
So first, a little discussion. Is everyone in agreement that this is the appropriate action under secret type 2?
Yes.
So the chair makes a motion to classify file number 2025-23-SBL-55.4-10-33 Jinko,
Shingle.
Jinko,
The T is silent.
Jinko. Dash SUP-SP as a type 2 action under section 617.5. Is that correct?
7,
Under
7, right? 6, yeah,
2.7 under secret.
82nd.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion. All those in favor, say aye.
Right.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you. And I encourage you to drive by and take a look. You'll see what it looks like.
I will.
Not much to see.
Do you have it staked out?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had a surveyor position, building, site plan, everything that was required.
And by the way, it does already have a curb cut approval from the county, so it's a county road.
That's all 29 floor.
209, yeah, so. it
Yeah,
actually-
from the aerial map, Google, it looks like it's already there.
It's Old Vessel Road. So
Okay,
you were
yeah, it
asking
kind of
about-
looks like, just like you have there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I provided aerial photos. Sure.
Yeah, it's the same place. It looks
It's,
like it
it's,
kind of already exists.
yeah.
Yeah.
You'd ask me about trees and stuff. It's really not much because it's an old road.
All right. Thank you very much.
Very good.
Thank you. I'll see you on the 17th,
Yes.
5 o'clock.
Yep, you'll get a copy of it too. Oh, well, you're not a neighbor, but I'll make sure you get a copy of it so that you know, and you'll see if you,
That's fine. Please do.
yeah. Usually they're a neighbor of it, but.
All right, thanks, folks.
in this case, it's not. Bye, Sadie.
Bye, Maggie.
Bye, Jerry.
All right, next order of business. This is application 2025, number 6 on the agenda, 2025 pound 24 SBL 37.2-2-8.200 fellows -2 lot SD. Also in the application.
And I don't know what in here.
This is the applicant present.
No.
No.
The applicant is not present.
Should they have to be?
Not necessarily, but, so do you want me to give you my little segmentation spiel while we're waiting?
So the chair recognizes Tracy Kellogg.
Are we ahead of time right now?
No.
No, so they're either gonna show up or they're not, but, so one of the points that I was raising with Craig is that
Yes.
even though this is really, they're submitting similar to what Wesley is doing, which is he's submitting 2 applications. This is also 2 applications. You got one for one side of the road and you got another for the other side of the road. Where you have a 2 lot subdivision on one side and a 7 lot.
Yep, this is the whole
on
plan.
the other side of the road. So in order to just sort of avoid any appearance of having, of not reviewing this as a whole application, because they're being submitted by the same person basically at the same time. I would be calling the number of lots, just when you're doing your seeker review, consider the total magnitude of both of the applications. And just verbalize that that's when you're looking at it, that is what you are taking into account. So that, you may not want to, for the first 2 lot subdivision on one side, classify it as a type 2 and just make it. You may want to look to have them submit a long form. And then you're just looking at it. I mean, still doesn't necessarily mean it's going to have substantial impact, but you're just approaching it from a different perspective so that you're taking both of those 2 parcels into account when you're doing your secret review.
And can they be subdivided again?
Well, right, that 1 lot theoretically there could, I believe,
Yeah.
but
And
so
then
you don't
traffic
want,
and what have you.
right,
I'm a little confused. There's one application here for a block. And then is there something, a pre-application
Yes.
discussion? That's it. So that.
Yeah.
So there's 7 lots on the other side of the road.
Right, so if you look at the map that's up, this
So
shows
this-
all of it.
This is the first thing that's application for on the agenda for this evening, is this lot. I haven't actually looked at where the subdivision line is.
Right there.
But I would presume it's right here.
Yes.
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
So he lives there. Gavin Bellows lives there.
Yeah.
So there's a house right now.
Right
He
up
plans to
here's-
create a second lot.
Here's the
That's vacant.
house. The first question I have when I looked at it is, just because I have the ability to pull this up on the mapping software. The application, says that this is 4 acres and this is 6. I believe that that's exactly the case.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah, and the mapping software concurs that this area up here is approximately 6 acres and the area down here is approximately 4.
That's what it says on the map.
Well, Paul, right, and Paul's letter says
Right.
that there is, Paul's referral, if you read it, says there is an acreage discrepancy that,
Yes, they may have just mixed it up on the application.
Well, the other thing that I wanted to mention to everybody is in this particular area, which is sort of the section of the town that's between Hale Mountain and Glenford Wittenberg Road. That sort of makes a triangle with the border of the town. The parcel lines that are provided by the county are significantly off to the tune of anywhere from 20 to 50 feet. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at how the lot lines look on this. So one of the questions I would immediately be asking is this line being taken from the county data or was there a survey done?
well, this looks like a filed map, so.
This
Is
is
there an author on this? Is there on the lower right-hand corner?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a filed
Yeah.
map. This is a filed map.
Okay,
And where is
So-
the other parcel that they're gonna do?
Okay, so they're gonna take this large parcel and combine it to this and create 7 lots
Okay.
that are all still gonna use this one access, by the way.
so hang on. So
Does
this,
it have to get there?
this is this is Glenford Wittenberg Road, right? No, that's.
No,
the,
that's the
uh,
drive.
No, that's the
that's the
private,
drive.
yeah,
That Hollow Road,
Yeah,
Here.
Hollow Road.
hollow.
Right here is Glenford Wittenberg.
Yeah,
Right
the
there.
Wittenberg Road is down below, so. Hollow Road comes up and the lot is actually this giant swath that comes all the way up here.
But it will also include this big vacant one down at the bottom. It's gonna be a total of 55 acres that they're gonna, because they're doing a lot line adjustment and a subdivision. So this Peter, whoever lot, this big one on the right,
You scroll a little bit?
yeah, is gonna be combined into what is right now this whole area as one lot.
Right, so just to give everybody some context as to what's going on up here, this is the west side of O'Hare Mountain. Steep slopes and all. The top is the summit of O'Hare Mountain.
Yes, right at the, that's, I mean, you're looking at the town line and so you know that that's the, right, that's,
Yep, this is the summit of the mountain that we would be asked to allow the development. Which, as far as I can tell, we've never allowed before, but that's what's being considered.
It's total of 55 acres, Maggie?
It will be once they
Yes.
combine this bottom weird shape on the right there.
what will be the egress?
So that's, so the road, so they're gonna use Hollow Road for all of it. But then off Hollow Road for the 7 lot is gonna be a 1,200 foot long, which is the maximum the code allows length road. And if you look, Greg, if you can point to the little red boxes, they've already identified potential pull-offs every 500 feet for fire trucks. But the road,
Private road.
yes, a private road. It doesn't exist right now. And so I don't know how long Hollow Road is, but it also is a private road.
but this is a filed map. So,
Yes.
so was this a sorry, not meaning.
I don't know how this can be a filed map with this
Right.
here.
Well,
Well,
approved by the
maybe-
town planning board 2021.
Yep.
Oh, wait, this is the lot.
Right, so these are all existing lots.
So these lines in here don't
Well, they're all-
exist.
No, they
No.
don't. Chriselle used this map too. Because it's his map.
But you have, okay,
And it's, Paul has labeled
Okay,
it
so
as
he's-
average density instead of, that's why some of the lots are
So I
not.
think this is an overlay.
Oh,
right,
I
that's what I
see,
just realized,
yes.
yeah, looking at finally, when I saw, look at the lot.
So he has 7 lots between the light and the dark shading, those are the
No,
proposed.
from where that dark line right there
Yeah,
to the very end of where that corner is
yeah.
gonna be 7 lots total.
Well, I see
with a
1,
12
2,
yeah.
3, 4, 5. Oh, there's 8 of them there. What is that on there now? It says Galvin Bellows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, it could be 8, but it's gonna include all this acreage down below. It's gonna be, in order to be able to
So
do
when are
it,
we
you
reviewing
need-
this, because this application is not sufficient for review at this
Oh, no,
point?
no, 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 this was just to get you, because they wanted to submit both of them together as one. And while I fully agree with Tracy, there's a complete seeker impact, every impact on both of them. The 2 lot is definitely a less impactful.
And
than
what
the
is this
7
road
lot.
on the 2? This is a
That's-
new road they're putting
No,
in?
that's an
This is
existing
Hollow
Hollow
Road
Road.
existing.
That's Hollow Road. You
I don't
said-
know how
you
wide
said
it
it's
is.
a private road.
Maggie,
Yes.
Maggie,
Yes, it is.
Maggie, no.
Is it paved?
I don't know.
I don't think.
Okay, well, this is another sense. This is a big, okay, I got
But
it.
it's a lot bigger than it looks, because later on, that big open white area there is gonna be combined with the rest of it. Is that what I'm
Right, it
correct?
was.
Yes, and I think they're
That's
doing
what-
that just so they have enough acreage to do the 8 lots, because as it is, because it'll be a total of 55 acres.
No, I don't think that's correct. So this parcel here is 38 acres. They want to divide it into 7, which would be basically creating 4+ acre lots out of this. So that's in compliance with,
The zoning. And that white lot is what he's gonna come back in the future? He also
No,
wants
well,
to-
I don't know, he's
I don't
combining
think-
it.
I really
That's-
don't think this is part of the project at all. But
Well, he's combining it. That's all I know. That's what Paul's
Yeah,
referral
well,
says.
we gotta get him here.
Well,
Yeah, this has to be,
This is-
this was
yeah,
approved,
we-
okay.
Without the applicant, without Paul here, this is, we're speculating to some degree.
That's right.
So rather than speculating, what I'd like to do is just provide a little more context as per the National Resources Inventory and point out a couple of things. This parcel is either the highest or second highest density of steep slopes in the entire town. So there's one flat spot here and one flat spot on the top. The very top of the mountain. There's flat spots over here. In addition, this whole area here is impacted by the water situation or lack of groundwater for O'Hare Mountain. 2 parcels, this whole area around here is all DEP land. And on the other side of that is the top of High Rocks Road.
I was gonna say, and this is basically gonna run into your application in a sense. I mean, when you're.
Yours is nearby, it's over in this.
I'm just talking in terms of like looking at an impact on that area.
It's very
in totality.
sensitive groundwater situation. So again, this is one more reason that it'll probably turn into a type 1 action. And
It's my water, they're gonna be drinking.
So this is again similar to the, sorry.
Okay, just-
Misspeak, but I would just be saying that this is again similar to the year, where you're going to want to,
Have the attorney here?
or definitely have a major engineer here, have an engineer and request a substantial escrow.
Is that a road up there that he's proposed for these 7 lots? What?
yeah, this is a proposed road.
To come off a Hollow Road.
So this part's the proposed.
So you're gonna have an engineer review all of that.
Well, it'll be more than 1,200 feet.
It's exactly 1,200 feet. Chris Zell was careful to make it exactly, but it's got no hammerhead, it's got no U-turn at the end. And they haven't submitted road profiles, they haven't submitted
They haven't submitted
ownership.
squat, they haven't submitted topo, they haven't, this is
No.
not reviewable.
And you don't-
No,
This seems
yeah.
Definitely,
pretty,
that's why this,
this is very early in
Yeah,
this
yeah.
process.
Yeah.
So this is all very speculative. And, you know, as you pointed out at the top, you said that you don't think that anything has been built at the top of that hill or that mountain. So, I mean, there's whole lots of questions at this point. So I'm not even sure without the applicant here, what.
Well, this is a pre-submission.
Yeah.
And I won't bring this up.
No, I got it. But
Would it behoove him to be here?
I get.
I don't know what happened. He was so clear with me that he had the date, he wrote it down. I emailed him and his son, so I don't know what happened. But, you guys, what? Did you need anyone?
Or you pretty much
We
have
always
it.
need you, but you're allowed to
Well,
go home now.
One thing that might be
Very much
helpful
for your
is if you had an idea of a punch list for this, like what
Yeah, no,
might
and I'll
be
work it
good
out. Yeah,
to force them to submit, to have some kind of
Yeah, and
sketch plan that makes
So-
sense.
And I said to Greg and I said to Debbie before that I'm happy to still do some participation here, do a bit in the transition.
Is that
And
permitted?
because I'm just reviewing it, I'm not a paid consultant, I'm not a,
Well, he's just gotta come up with a whole lot more information for us.
And yeah,
but so
you
I
gotta-
can help, I mean, we'll pull it together and I'll go through, I mean, we did a little quickie.
A road profile.
Could I mean, being right on the border of Woodstock, could Woodstock come in and?
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you'll
Oh, no,
have to
this is gonna-
circulate for lead agency.
I'm
they'll-
You're
pretty
gonna-
certain that this goes to the county because it's.
It
Oh,
does.
no, no,
Even
it goes
though
to the
we have-
county.
yeah,
Yeah, it goes to that. You're gonna go to the county, you're going to have to include DEP as well, because they're an adjacent
Road
property
rage.
owner.
Right, so you're gonna
The town of
So
Woodstock.
circulate for
Yeah,
lead
there's-
agency.
yeah,
So
there's
the
gonna be a lot.
city
This
of
is not-
New
this
York
is
may
not-
say, no, we think that we
This
should
is
be.
this is an ambitious project.
It is an ambitious
He may
project.
have a road there that's too steep to get the subdivision.
Well, that's what I'm saying, you're gonna need an engineer and you're gonna, and
This map, there was another map.
We'll
that
make it.
that shows the topo.
So, similar
That's the whole
to
thing.
the other application with yours, I don't know whether here you're in the same situation where immediately you need an attorney, but I would recommend, you definitely need an engineer. You are going to ultimately probably need an attorney who will do some review.
Are we happy with Pete?
I'm always happy with Pete myself personally.
I hate that they're
Well-
so big, how often they get.
It's
Like
the,
you gotta have it there.
the next board meeting, we will be discussing the, kind of,
Right.
they've been using for 2026.
Well, but you can't use, on this one, you can't use Bernier and Larios again because you've got Chriselle who did the subdivision. So you really are limited to Peak. There are a couple of other people, but that's what.
We can't really do
Yeah, you could
anything
just
until this
tell
guy spends some money
they
and
don't
brings
submit
some
the
prints
invoice,
in here
they're
that we
gonna
can
get paid.
understand and show us.
That brings you some Bonello.
If the invoice does not come in by the end of the month and your report goes out, they forfeit that money. Just tell them they got they're professional. Sorry. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Wow.
No, it's just frustrating. It took 5 months to get the bill back.
Will you tell them that?
And Baxter is here.
So.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna move
So
on
that's
to,
another question I wanted to ask.
The chairperson has the floor.
Yes, the
Yes.
the
The
chairman
chairperson.
would like us to move on to other business since
Thank
that's what
you.
we're talking about already.
Okay,
Debbie, you had a concern about invoice for Peak?
No, Matthew said
No,
that
no.
Peak is good, but they don't submit their invoices timely, and every month we have to send out a bill. If their invoice is not on that bill and it goes out, and they don't go out, if it goes out without their invoice coming in, they're forfeiting that month's fee. That's my opinion.
I don't know if that's legal, Trixie, is it?
I would.
Well, I would be sending them, I agree. I would send them a copy of our policy and or our law, which says that billing has to go out every 30 days. So it doesn't mean that they, but within 10 days after the cycle, they should be able to send you an invoice on a project.
so after so many billings and work done to try to get this straightened out, his escrow will increase.
Yeah, that's a
If he
different
keeps-
topic.
This is the
Different
big.
topic.
We're talking about the other
This
side.
is the big
This is gonna be another.
Oh, yeah, that one there?
Yeah, this one, you're gonna start with a 5 to 10 grand.
Oh, not that 10, come up to 10, look at that.
No, so,
I'm sorry, what are we talking about?
Yeah,
We're
two
jumping-
different topics.
We're jumping, yeah, it's hard to follow.
So
Can we keep on
So
topic?
can I make another
Yeah, we're
suggestion?
talking about that.
Just to-
Like, we finished that, right?
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Well, we're just saying,
Yes,
that's
that's
all right.
right.
But can I,
Time.
my other suggestion is when you have so many board members missing, you really all should just move around so you can hear each other. You
I don't know, I'd
I
like
don't
to
think we
see
even
them.
hear any problem.
Okay.
Thank you
Yeah,
for this
but
suggestion.
are we talking about in general or this project, or were you saying there's a billing
So, Wally,
issue?
you bring up a good point. We were actually crossing two different things.
Okay.
The first had to do with, what I understand is work that Peak Engineering did and hasn't provided us with an invoice for it, so we can't bill applicants.
They need a slap on the hand and tell us. that they're gonna get
So that's
better.
issue number one. We all agree that the clerk will send out a letter and more than nudge them to get the invoice in so we can get that off the table. And then the second had to do with an issue, again, turning back
Yeah,
to,
well, this will just be a big escrow, okay,
Yeah.
whatever, because
So the
there's a
escrow-
lot going on.
so the escrow, when an application finally does come around, we will set it at a much higher
An
number.
appropriate amount.
Exactly.
My suggestion would be, next meeting, he doesn't show up. Explain what he's trying to do here with a better prepared map. We shouldn't be talking about it anymore.
No, I don't even feel comfortable.
No, he should, until you can come back with a map that we can understand with all the pertinent information on it, then don't bother coming back.
Well, this was supposed to be a it's a pre-application discussion, so they become familiar with the project. But as far as I'm concerned, his 2-lot subdivision is a formal application, but it's not
It is.
adequately depicted, so we can even react to that one.
Correct.
Okay.
So we're agreed that we will not give this any more consideration until a lot more information comes in.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he shows up.
Yes.
Can I also, just in relation,
No, it's a
Tracy,
he.
you raised, what
No,
are we
it's a he.
supposed to do about Baxter since it's coming on a year since he submitted and he
Well,
seems to
yeah,
have
yeah.
disappeared?
I would just send them communication and basically ask whether whether their application is still active or whether they're looking to withdraw. I mean, it can take them a year to be doing the work that they're doing.
I don't know if they're communicating with Peak. and
Well, no,
doing-
that's why
I'm
but I'm
worried.
just saying, so I would just send a letter basically saying to them, since we haven't had we're looking for Greg. I would recommend, Greg, to you, that you direct Maggie to send a letter to the applicants for Baxter Estates, saying that, there has been no known activity in their application, and you are just confirming with them that their application is still active, or whether they would like you to close out the escrow and return the balance and close the file.
So the chair would like to ask the clerk to put the pertinent materials together and a draft letter to me. And I'll approve it and we can notify them accordingly.
Yeah, because they got visual assessment on the 5, but that's it. Haven't
Okay,
heard anything since.
all right, moving on.
Thank you. I just wanted Tracy's input on
Move
that.
it, move it, Greg. Move it.
All right, so I'm looking at other business here on the agenda. The first thing that's popping out to me is a request for an extension of a approval file.
Yep,
So
um,
the first thing I do want to do is anybody on the board familiar with this particular application?
this was this was 5 months ago, 6 months ago.
I don't know what I had for breakfast.
They,
Are we talking about the Baxter thing?
No, we're talking about, Miller LLD.
right, it was,
So on the agenda.
Oh, lot
is-
line deletion,
yeah,
so.
and they're having trouble getting 6 months is coming up since the approval, and they're having trouble getting with the applicant to get the map signed, so they're asking for an extension of approval. So,
You would just automatically provide the.
We're just the audience.
I'm
Just as a motion,
providing
okay.
guidance. You would-
Right.
So the chair is going to concur with, council on this. An extension does seem appropriate. So with that,
You can recommend, usually it's a 6-month
I
extension.
make a
You grant-
motion to provide the extension. That's,
so,
is that right?
for 6 months.
Yes,
6 months.
I'll second that.
All right, so we have a second, and the motion on the table is that we will grant. I'm just trying to find the file number here. File 2025-07-SBL-37-2-1-30-31-Miller-LLD. A 6-month extension. So that's the motion on the table. Any discussion? Or- All right, all those in favor, say aye.
Do you have a second?
We already did the second. The motion was already.
Raleigh and then Deb.
I was just
He was
restating
just
the motion.
restating it.
The motion passes unanimously. Yep. And what else do we have here? Voucher.
I have it up on the screen. It's from Young and Summer for, the yurts for, last month.
Did they submit any escrow?
Yes, they did actually, the 10,000.
So,
Very happy. All right.
so as the clerk indicated, the escrow account has already been opened at about $10,000. The voucher that we are looking at is for legal services that were provided to the planning board with regards to that application.
And that's all, that's all the extension was?
Right
Yes.
now, yeah,
Yep, so there's-
that's just the one meeting, travel time, whatnot. So that's it so far.
And
And
review. I'm gonna get that. Chair, check with the clerk to make sure that she forwarded that invoice to the applicant.
I did, it's on the agenda, 11, the date. It's on the agenda, the date I did. And I told them I needed to hear from them by yesterday if they had any issues, that it was gonna be presented at this meeting, and I needed to hear from them by yesterday.
Perfect. Oh, see, you guys are sticking right with it. Yay.
All right.
Good turkey.
Thank you.
It's always turkey.
I know, because I am such a turkey. I am a Twinkie.
Candy,
So just
chocolates were good, but
Oh, good. Were they? She's gonna do it.
what else
This
we
is
got?
not, this is not official business. We didn't adjourn yet.
Oh, okay, all
So
right.
we're almost done here. Let me just finish this up.
Meeting here.
So the first is that the notification was sent out on November 10th, 2025. So for the clerk, if that
Yes.
happened.
That's it.
So Greg, you don't really have to like necessarily go through all of on your vouchers unless you want to, but you basically just, you as chair, just want to confirm with Maggie that she's gone through the process and then you can sign off that the voucher gets paid.
So this does not require a motion?
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody has been made aware.
Anybody, any of the board members have concern about paying it?
I make a motion to adjourn. Am I jumping the gun here?
Sorry.
You are not.
I second that.
Okay, so we have a motion to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And I make a motion to welcome our new chairperson.
Great, we adjourned already.
So
Nice job.
So we have maps to sign. Deb
Oh,
needs to stay and one other person.
I think you've done a hell
They're
of a job.
wow from 2024. I need to get them out of my life.
Progress, they'll move on.
It doesn't matter.
But actually, he was,
I look forward to the line of wealth of experience we have here in Harvard.
he kept me from being rowdy. Okay, where am I signing? That was all mine.
Okay,
Thank you, guys.
you're welcome. 6:45.
Okay, that's right. That's it.
Meg, did one person to sign the maps?
No, two. Deb
I
and
did
a
some last time.
I don't know. How about